Olivia was standing in front of the kitchen table and slicing vegetables. "My husband is coming home from work soon, and I need to speed up a little." After putting the sliced cucumbers and tomatoes on a plate, she took the chicken out of the oven and began to carve it. Olivia was 43 years old, blonde of medium height, a little overweight, but at the same time she was toned and there were no folds on her body. All her fullness only added charm to her body. Her husband, Michael, is 4 years older than Olivia, slightly taller than his wife, with a receding hairline on his head, which grew every year, and his dark hair became less and less, and with a large beer belly. Although in his youth, when Michael was just starting his relationship with Olivia, he was much slimmer. Now he was the epitome of all male vices, laziness, fishing, and TV. Although Michael worked in a fairly high position at a local factory as a shop supervisor, everything seemed to be fine in their family. Standard quarrels in the family and the arrival of the mother-in-law at the most inopportune moment. Only there was a problem in their family. Their son John had a problem. John was 18 years old. He inherited his dark hair from his father and his green eyes from his mother. He was taller than his father, thin. It seems like nothing like that. But he had a disease, chronic insomnia. As the doctor said, it was a hereditary disease. His grandfather also had this disease, but he was a lover of strong drinks, so he had no problem sleeping. But John was prescribed special pills that he needed to drink before going to bed, and only then could he fall asleep. Olivia was very worried about her son. This disease began to manifest itself in him at the age of 15. During all this time, John lost a lot of weight. His eyes were constantly tired, although he had no problems at school and with other guys. When dinner was ready, the family sat down at the table. Sitting silently at the table, each of the family members thought about his own. Michael was thinking about going fishing for the weekend and being with friends. John was thinking about where he would study next and how long he would be able to live with such an illness. And Olivia was only thinking about two things. The first was her son. She was afraid for him, worried that he would not be able to live on his own, that the disease might progress, that he won't be able to find a girlfriend, he won't be able to start a family. And the second one, there was her personal life. Making love with her husband was not only rare, but also disgusting. Olivia's age was now such that her desire to make love was pouring over the edge. As a faithful wife, she did not even think about cheating. After dinner, Olivia started washing the dishes. Michael took his place in front of the TV, and his son went to his room. After that, Olivia went to the bathroom. At 10 o'clock in the evening, John took his pills, said goodnight, and went to bed. He always took them at 10 o'clock and then went to bed. Olivia watched him drink them and went to her room. My husband was lying and watching hockey. Olivia did not pay attention to her husband. There was no point in flirting with him when the semifinals were underway. Moreover, he paid off his marital debt 3 days ago, and I spent about 3 minutes on it. At 11 o'clock, the game ended, and Michael, lying on his side, began to snore. Unlike her son, her husband's sleep was natural and excellent. It was quite problematic to wake him up. You could even watch TV calmly at normal volume and not be afraid that he would wake up. Olivia sighed heavily and decided to stop by to check on her son. It's better to sit with him than listen to her husband's snore. Entering John's room, Olivia sat down next to her sleeping son. After taking the pills, it was impossible to wake him up for the first 3 to 4 hours. And he always slept on his back. Olivia often came to her son, sat with him, and talked. He didn't answer, but he was a great listener. While Olivia was talking and complaining about life, her son lay quietly next to her and breathed languidly. Sometimes Olivia even cried, complaining about fate, about life, and about her son's illness. After that, she felt a little better and went to her room. Now it was all the same. Olivia was sitting next to her son and talking to him about abstract topics. What kind of underwear to buy? Is it worth going for a manicure? What hairstyle to do? And so on. Although she did not receive an answer, she was pleased that she even talked and spent time with her son. Her dreams were to cheat on her husband, and she decided to take an unusual step. When her son was sleeping, she took advantage of the moment. They made love while Michael was sleeping in another room. In the morning, Olivia behaved as usual, but she looked at her son in a slightly special way. He didn't know what had happened last night. Therefore, as usual, I sat at the table and drank tea. John was about to leave. Olivia wished him a good shift. Soon John left for school, which meant Olivia could lie quietly in her room and think about everything. If my son does not find out anything and my husband does not give me what I want, then why would I refuse such a thing? A woman came to this conclusion. Olivia spent the rest of the evening doing chores around the house. As a housewife, she kept the house clean and the refrigerator full of food. As soon as her husband began to snore, Olivia got up and went to John's room. She was a little more serious today. In the morning, nothing changed again. Everything was as usual, and Olivia was thinking about how to continue mastering her own son's body and what she will do next. Such scenes were already spinning in her head. She had imagined such a thing for herself. The third night came. Olivia came to her son's room after 11 at night. The husband was snoring in the bedroom, and the son was sleeping peacefully under the influence of pills. Olivia stood in front of her son's bed for a minute, deciding. Lying in bed, Olivia thought about what she had done. What if she gets pregnant? What then? But in the morning, all her worries disappeared. Everything was as usual. The son and husband were sitting at the table and having breakfast. John didn't suspect anything, and what would he say if he found out that his own mother, taking advantage of his difficult situation, made love to him? Olivia decided she wouldn't say anything to him or give anyone a reason to think about it, but she decided not to stop her night trips to her son. Today, Olivia wanted to repeat yesterday's experience. It was just like last time. Now she loved him both as a mother and as a partner. Once again, lying in her bed, she reflected on her negligence regarding safety. Olivia, in fact, wanted another child. I even told my husband about it, but Michael just chuckled, saying that at their age, messing with the kids, I would have said right away that you don't want children. In the evening, when Michael was sitting and watching football, Olivia came into the room and started talking about the second child. Olivia, that's enough. My husband got angry looking up from the screen. We've already talked about this. I'm against it. Olivia almost cried. Those words stabbed into her heart like a knife. Sitting on the bed, she sniffed and was angry. Mom, Dad, good night. My son's voice rang out in the hallway. Apparently, he did not go into the room. He seemed to hear our conversation and raised tones. Good night, son, Olivia shouted at her son. Michael continued to watch TV. At that moment, Olivia felt disgusted with her husband. That's how much she got tired of him and fell out of love with him over the years. What kind of husband is this who loves only beer, football, fishing, and his friends? At 11 o'clock, Michael turned off the TV and went to bed. The apartment was filled with his snoring. Olivia lay in bed and thought about her life. She was already walking towards him, to his beloved son. What will happen to your son in the future? How will the disease develop? Will he even have children? And so there will be a child from his son and a welcome second child for Olivia. And Olivia made up her mind. Olivia also decided to hedge her bets in another case. In the evening, before John went to bed, she invited everyone to have tea. And she put a band rug in her son's tea. And the husband, a dose of sleeping pills. Everything went according to plan. The husband passed out at the beginning of the 11th, and the son was asleep. Maria has prepared for this very seriously. She decided to make tonight special for herself. Nothing happened in the morning. Everything was as usual. John was sitting at the table as if nothing had happened. It is necessary to wait a couple of days, and you can go back to your son's room. And Michael didn't say anything at all, even though yesterday was a very important hockey match for him. Therefore, Olivia concluded that her plan had worked well. Indeed, the plan worked 100%. 3 weeks later, Olivia took a test and it showed a positive result. John was delighted. He hoped that this child would strengthen their family. Of course it will, darling, Olivia whispered, lying next to her son at night and stroking his hair. Because this is your child, my son. She took his hand and put it on her stomach. I'm sorry for everything, honey, Olivia continued, but I couldn't do it any other way. I need a man, and you need a woman's care. That's why it turned out that way. I will always be by your side no matter what happens. And now Olivia is already standing in front of the mirror, trying on a new dress. In 6 months, her belly had grown and she looked at herself and stroked it. Her husband helped her a little and even supported her. But the old trust and love could not be returned. John also helped in any way he could. And at night, his mother took from him what she wanted most of all. Putting her hand on her tummy, Olivia talked to him. Shared her feelings, apologized, cried, confessed her love. Oh, those hormones, but the declaration of love was sincere. She loved her son, both as her own child and as a man. It's a pity that it happened like this, but nothing can be returned. Olivia considered herself a wrong mother, a cheater, but she didn't care. And she was happy. She didn't need more than that. And why? Her son gave her everything she needed. And his pills, which gave him the opportunity to sleep soundly and have wonderful dreams, while his mother embodied them in reality. "Good night, darling," Olivia whispered. Leaving for her room, Olivia was already preparing to come to her son again the next hot night to satisfy her hunger. Olivia and Michael's family will continue their lives. They will raise a child. John will finish his studies and go to work. Maybe he'll get married and move. Or maybe she'll stay with her parents. John will only take his pill and Mom will come to him at night. Who knows? Maybe they'll make another one. Huh?